Notice is a new spy action comedy that is now streaming on Netflix. It just came out this past Friday. This film stars three of the biggest stars in the world. It stars Ryan Reynolds, it stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and it stars Gal Gadot. By the way, this video is sponsored by Dune, and courtesy of Dune is the Paul Atreides Funko Pop, which has to show at least one appearance in every video from here to the end of the year. It's definitely because I need money and not because I just love Dune and I just want to talk about Dune all the fucking time. Not to overly complicate the plot, I feel like the movie does enough of that already. I'm gonna try to keep it simple here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stars as an FBI agent and Ryan Reynolds stars as a world-famous art thief. They stumble upon the mystery of Cleopatra and her three very valuable golden eggs that everybody in the world really wants. Two of these eggs are in the public eye and everybody knows where they are, but there is one missing egg, and so this FBI agent and this art thief have to team up to try to find the missing egg while trying to stay ahead of another art thief played by Gal Gadot. So pretty much we have two art thieves and an FBI agent all going after this rare, missing, valuable golden egg that nobody else seems to know where it is. I'm not gonna lie, I took one look at the trailer for this movie and I said, that's probably gonna be trash. But is it gonna be trash that I can live with? I am America's honesty broker. I'm here to give you guys the truth. The truth is, yeah, this movie's actually kind of trash. There's not a lot of things that I can highly recommend about this film. That doesn't mean that I didn't have a good time with the movie. That doesn't mean I didn't have fun. And I think a lot of people, assuming they decide to turn their brain off watching this movie, I think a lot of people are going to have that kind of fun with this movie because that's the kind of movie that it sets itself up to be. The good thing about it is that it has a consistent tone. It knows what it is. It doesn't try to go outside of its box or outside of its lane. It's a heist movie. It's an action comedy. You have three likable, charismatic leads. They threw them all in the movie and they just said, to hell with everything else. Watch them. Watch it for them. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is likable, just like he is in most of the movies that he's in. Granted, he's a little bit more stoic in this movie than you've seen him probably in some of his previous films, but he's a lot of fun because he bounces off of Ryan Reynolds' character so well in this movie. Ryan Reynolds is, I mean, you know, he's Ryan Reynolds. Like, you know who Ryan Reynolds is at this point. He's always playing some slightly exaggerated version of himself in a lot of movies. Like, whatever you thought Ryan Reynolds was going to be in this movie, like whatever just popped into your head when I said that, yeah, that's exactly what he is in this movie. He's exactly that. He doesn't try to be anything more or anything less. I gotta say, Gal Gadot is probably the one of the three that kind of stole the show a little bit for me, and I think she was good in the movie, but mostly because she was playing in a role that we don't usually see her in. In this movie, she's a lot more of a villain. She's a lot more of a bad guy. She's kind of got this devilish charm to her. She's got this really mischievous and playful energy to her that I think really not only bounces off of her co-stars really well, but it also really serves her character a lot because her character is just very devious and very fun to watch. The movie does have a couple of good action scenes. Granted, there are some action scenes that are marred by some really bad CGI and a couple of bad shots of green screen. There's a couple of scenes where the camera maybe is moving a little bit too much, but overall, when they decide to focus up, there's some good action to be had in this movie. It's one of those swashbuckling movies that goes all around the world. It involves a treasure hunt. It involves clues and maps and, you know, all of that cliche shit that you've seen in Indiana Jones movies or the Uncharted games. If you're into that style of storytelling, definitely this movie's gonna have something for you. If nothing else, at least watch this movie for Gal. Like, maybe you don't like Ryan Reynolds, maybe you're sick of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but Gal, not only is she a great villain, but she's just incredible to look at. The story here is littered with cliches. It's littered with a whole bunch of predictability. There's a lot of twists that the movie goes for. So nothing here is gonna surprise you. There's not a lot of suspense. There's not a lot of tension in a movie like this. It's a plot that actually gets a little bit more convoluted than it actually needs to at a few points. It gets a little bit too complicated. There's a little bit too many wires getting crossed. It's trusting that you're gonna be so entertained that you're not gonna care about any of that. There's just so much shit that starts happening that causes you to suspend your disbelief. You can suspend your disbelief and have a fun time with the movie, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge that there's gonna be several moments throughout the film where you're like, wait, how did that happen? Why did that happen? It's just one of those really dumb movies that doesn't require you to use a lot of your brain. And if you use a lot of your brain while you're thinking about this movie, well, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. It's one of those disposable action comedy movies that most people are not going to be talking about, not going to be thinking about probably 5 minutes from now. Overall, I had some fun with this movie, even though I can't highly recommend it. I'm going to leave this one in the fortress of solitude. Those are my thoughts on Red Notice. Tell me, what did you think about it, and which one of these three co-stars is your favorite among the three, and what's your favorite movie from them? Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.